We will start where we have left yesterday. Something gone wrong. Something gone wrong yesterday because of some technical error, because of some operational error from my side. So I was discussing common method biasness yesterday. And that is because of some method. That is because of some method, some biases are arising. So the observed score, is equal to true score plus error, and this is what the language in most of the cases in different way. But apart from this error, some error are coming from some error I have already discussed. Some error are coming from the method itself. Some error are coming from the method itself. I said observed score is equal to true score plus error. True score plus error. Apart from these scores, sometimes this could not be equalized to the observed score. That means something else is there. What is that? Some error arises or some error develops because of some method, because of the method. So that is the reason some tests has been proposed. Out of those tests, one of the most important tests is this common method biasness. And the common method biasness is testing whether is any error coming out of the method. That means the method is causing any error or not. If the method is causing error, then is it significant? Obviously, every method has some pros and cons. Every method of data collection, every method of data analysis has their own pros and cons. Every method has some limitations. So obviously they will cause error, and their error will appear in the data. But whether this error is significant or not, if the error is significant, then there is a problem in our research. So we need to analyze whether the error is significant or not, and we should ascertain the error is not significant. So that is the reason one way of analyzing the method from error is common method biasness. And one technique of common method biasness is, one technique of testing the common method biasness is Harman's single factor test. And it is very simple. I have already said yesterday, go to the SPSS, all the parameters or all the indicators or all the exogenous variables that you have specified in your model, you will take to the factor analysis. That is general factor analysis. Very appropriate to say explorative factor analysis. Go to the explorative factor analysis menu, take all the parameters or the exogenous variables or the indicators of your SEM to the EFA. But in the EFA, what you generally do, you do rotate. Without rotation, it will go error. But in case of Harman's single factor theory, do not rotate at all. So make it unrotated and specify that I need one factor only. And specify that I need one factor only. This operation I have made yesterday. So after specifying one factor and no rotation, how much of cumulative variance is generating? How much of cumulative variance is generating by that single factor? How much of cumulative variance is generated by that single factor? If it is less than 50%, then common method biasness is not that much of variable. The common method biasness is not that much of harmful. If it is less than 50%, the common method biasness is not that much of harmful. If it is more than 50%, common method biasness is harmful to your research. So the second testing method I was doing in the AMOS itself. Suppose somebody will say, do this testing in the AMOS. So what you will do, I was saying yesterday, so I could not succeed because of some operational error from my side. So what I am saying, all the indicators all the indicators should be related to a single common factor. Should be related to a single common factor. What I did yesterday, I did the reverse. I was explaining reflective and formative, but I did the wrong thing yesterday. I was connecting from the indicator to the method, indicator to the latent variable or the construct, which was wrong. Actually, in the formative, the AMOS is mostly doing formative. AMOS never looks at, AMOS mostly do the reflective. I'm sorry. AMOS mostly do the reflective. AMOS never do formative. AMOS mostly do the reflective. So in case of reflective, what is the most important thing I said? So the arrow mark should go, the arrow mark should go from the arrow mark should go from the latent variable to the indicator. From the latent variable to the indicator. Yesterday I did the mistake of making the indicator to the latent variable. I did the mistake yesterday. I made the connection from the indicator to the latent variable. Actually, in the formative, what should be done? From the latent variable to the indicator. Please do along with me. Please do along with me. From the latent variable to the indicator. From the latent variable to the indicator, yesterday, some operational error I did. So from the latent variable to the indicator, actually we should do. From the latent variable to the indicator, actually we should do. So do it. So all of you, please follow me. Yesterday, the reverse thing I did. So that is the reason I could not process. In the reflective measurement, the latent variable to the indicator should be given. The latent variable to the indicator, the arrow mark should go upward. Here should go upward. So for the beautification, what I will do, I will make it here. So it has been beautified. Please ensure
share your screen. Sir, your screen is not visible.
Please, please share the screen, sir.
From the very beginning, you should say it. I have forgotten that. Okay, I have forgotten that. So should I do again? Madam, should I do
Yes,
again?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So give me 1 minute. So this was the model you had. My screen is visible to all. My screen is visible to all. Can anybody respond?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This model is existing with you. And what I did yesterday, I need to connect to a single common factor. I need to connect to a single common factor. What I did yesterday, I did the wrong thing yesterday. I made this, but this is formative, which is not correct in AMOS. AMOS look at reflective. So that is the reason I could not succeed in the operation. What you need to do, you need to connect from the latent variable to the indicator. From the latent variable to the indicator. That means since last 10 minutes, people are listening and not doing. You should immediately say. So from the construct or latent variable to the indicator. So please follow me. Since last 10 minutes, people are not listening, or by logging in, they are doing something else, because nobody could make me remember that my screen has not been shared. So please follow me. Yesterday, I did the mistake of connecting reversely. So actually, in the reflective measurement, the arrow mark should go from the construct or latent variable towards the indicator. Later on, in the structural equation modeling, from the construct to construct, you can go take the arrow mark. At that time, it is not a problem. But whenever there is a relationship between construct to indicator, whenever you are relating construct to indicator, the arrow mark should go from construct to indicator. But whenever we will do structural equation modeling, the arrow mark can be relating construct to construct. At that time, there is no problem. After this, I will tell you. So this much all of you have done. So this much all of you have done. All of you? Can anybody respond? This much all of you have done?
Yes, sir.
Anybody? Can anybody respond? Okay. So then do the beautification. Do the beautification done now. Beautification done. Ensure that every indicators has been connected. Every indicators. In my case, in our example, there are 22 indicators. There are 22 indicators. Ensure that every indicators have been connected. Now this operation is over, all of you. This operation is over, all of you. What you need to do, you need to constrain the path. You need to constrain the regression weight. You need to constrain the regression weight by a particular value. So let me add a value. Let me add a value. Let it anything, A or B or anything you can add. So I'm making it A. I'm making it A. Let it be something more font size so it will be visible to you. Let it be A. Then the same A should be given to all. You can do it manually, just I did right now. You can do it manually. But instead of doing that, what you need to do, you need to go to this particular icon, drag property from object to object. Please look at my cursor movement. There is an icon, drag properties from the object to object. Click there and put the tick on parameter constraint. Exact option you will tick, that option will be operating, not all. So drag the parameter. So you need to drag the parameter now. In order to drag the parameter, what you need to do, you need to select everything. Please go by selecting one by one. You need to select everything. You need to select everything so that in a single click, everything has been constrained by A. Otherwise, you can do manually by putting everything A. By putting everything A manually, you can do. There is no harm. But additionally, this will give you another technique. That's why I am operating in this manner. How a property will be dragged and given to all the arrow mark or all the relationship. So please
how
select
will we do it manually otherwise?
Yes. To every arrow mark, you will attach a constraint that is A. You can do it manually. But additionally, it will give you another information regarding the AMOS operation. That's why I'm doing this. So you need to select everything. Once you select, it will turn into blue. So you can ensure whether any arrow mark remain as black. Now I think every arrow mark from the construct to the indicator has been selected. Only this arrow mark we will select, not all. Not all other arrow mark. Now please ensure, can anybody ensure everything has been selected? Can anybody ensure? Can anybody ensure, please?
Yes, sir, all arrows have turned
Now,
blue.
okay. So now I have chosen the parameter constraint need to be reflected everywhere. So what I will do, I will drag and drop somewhere, anyway, so that it will be turned A to everywhere. Now see every parameters connected with the common construct has been constrained with the factor loading or regression weight by A. Every parameters connected with a single construct or latent variable have been constrained with a same regression weight, that is A. I repeat again, every parameters or indicators connected to a single construct have been constrained with the regression weight or factor score or loading, whatever you say, has been constrained with the regression weight or factor score by A. Now, what I need to do is, I need to make it constant as 1. This thing I could not do yesterday because of reverse arrow mark. Now make it 1, otherwise AMOS will not operate. I'm sorry. Now make it 1, otherwise AMOS will not operate. Now it has been 1. In order to show you where the 1 is, let the parameter, indicators, let the indicator value be, or parameter value be moved. So I am moving here. You can see the 1 here now. Now AMOS is ready to operate. What I need to do, the same procedure, I need to give the data set to the AMOS. I need to give the data set to the AMOS, that particular SPSS data sheet to the AMOS. Now, okay, AMOS is ready now. Now, calculate the estimate. One variable is unnamed. Oh, sorry. This variable has not been named. This variable has not been named.
Sir, new latent variable has not been named. New latent variable, sir, I think.
Yes. Thank you. What has happened today also?
Sir, in this menu, we have a text option. Yes, sir.
Text, yes.
Yes. Common factor. Now parameter is 1. Now ready for operation. Proceed. No problem. Now look at here. The upward red highlighted arrow mark has been highlighted. Upward red arrow mark has been highlighted. That means our operation is success. So click there. Click there. How much value we are getting? Look at here. This value we are concerned now.
Excuse me, sir. I could not put this 1.
Double click on the common factor.
1 or A, sir.
Double.
Yes, sir.
Double click on the common factor.
Yes, sir.
Done now, Bapan sir.
Sir, I could not write this A. For every arrow mark, I could not write this A. Can you please show me, sir?
Okay, please see this so that after this I will tell you. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Look at here. So look at the values. Look at the values. All the values become 0.55. All the values become 0.55. Please look at the values. All the values become 0.55. Once all the values become 0.55, what we need to do? We need to know the variance. Variance means make it square. Very simple. So 0.55 square it. It will be, I think, 0.30 something.
0.3025. 3025.
0.30.
25.
0.30. How much?
0.30. 2.25.
So that means slightly more than 30%, but however it is less than 40%, 50%. If it is less than 30%, it will be very good. But below 40% also, we can say the threat of common method biasness do not exist. Below 50%, that means below 0.4, we can interpret that the threat of common method biasness is not existing. If it is more than 40%, then that is a little threat of common method biasness. If it is more than 50%, then that is not acceptable at all. If it is more than 0.5, after making it square, if it is more than 0.5, then there is a issue of common method biasness. That means it is not acceptable. Not acceptable. More than 0.4, little threat is there, but less than 0.4, there is no threat of common method biasness. But less than 0.3, it is excellent. It is excellent that you have no fear of common method biasness. I hope it is clear now. Up to this, everybody is clear. Up to this, everybody is clear. Any doubt till now? Any doubt? Anybody? Any doubt? Anybody? After making it square, if it is more than 50%, yani ki more than 0.5, then it is not acceptable. If it is more than 0.4, some threat is there. If it is less than 0.4, it is acceptable. If it is less than 0.3 after squaring, then it is excellent. So in our case, it is less than 0.4 and slightly higher than 0.3. So it can be accepted very satisfactorily. Now coming to the Bapan sir. Bapan sir, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Bapan,
sir.
are you there?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. See, look at here. What you need to do is you need to click. Let me go to this. See, what you need to do, you need to click on any one arrow mark. Double click.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Double
sir.
click. Double click. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now this pop-up box will appear. This like pop-up box will appear.
Okay, sir. I got it, sir.
Go to the parameter option and constraint it A, B, C, whatever you like. But whatever you will put, the same thing will put to everybody, every arrow mark. Clear?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Because common method biasness require the constraint should be similar or same. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Likewise, you need to double click on every arrow mark. Likewise, you need to double click on every arrow mark and the same symbol you will give. Same symbol you will give. Else, another method is there. You can select everything. Like I have selected now. Once you select, it will be turned into blue. The black arrow mark will be turned into blue. Once you select. After that, what you need to do, look at here, look at my cursor movement. You go to a left-hand side icon, put your cursor there, and it will show you drag the property from object to object. You click there and you make it tick. Parameter constraint. You make it tick. You make it tick. Once you make it tick, it enable you to make the same object drag and drop anywhere, and it will be assigned with the same value. So then what I did, I dragged this A and put any of the arrow mark, any one of the arrow mark. Automatically, all the arrow mark will be assigned with A. So then I explain everything. Clear now? Bapan, clear? Clear now? Bapan, clear? Bapan, clear or not? Anyway, so should we move forward today's assignment? Should we move forward? If anybody is having any doubt, they can ask. Otherwise, we will move forward. Move forward? Yes or no? Anybody can respond. Should we move forward?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we will discuss the last or most important thing, that is SEM, structural equation modeling. SEM, that is structural equation. You are asking something. Somebody is asking something. Okay. So today we will discuss. Somebody's microphone is on. Please mute it. Okay. So today we will discuss structural equation modeling, and already introduction of structural equation modeling I have explained in my first class or first session. Still, I will go to some of the very important opinion by various authors. Please look at the opinion of or definition of wholly. What he say, structural equation modeling is nothing but a comprehensive statistical approach. It is a comprehensive statistical approach to testing the hypothesis about the relationship among observed and latent variable. Very simple. We are doing that. We are doing that. It is simply a relationship between latent variable to the observed variables. So this is what the latent variable, and these are all the observed variables, which can be called as exogenous variables also. In the SCM, it is popularly called as indicators. Very simple definition he has given. Very simple definition he has given. As because it cannot explain every variance, so there is a error term attached in the AMOS. There is an error term attached in the AMOS, which is not seen in case of PLS SCM. In case of PLS SCM, this error term is not, it cannot be seen. Partial least square based SCM, which you are doing in another software that is called as Smart PLS. This error term is not there in the Smart PLS. In another method of SCM, that is PLS SCM, partial least square based SCM. In that PLS SCM, this error term do not appear. But in the AMOS SCM, that is covariance based SCM, this error term is must. So what the wholly said, it is simply a relationship between construct to the latent variable to the observed variable, or factor to the exogenous variable, or we can say construct to the indicator, whatever you say, construct to the indicator, or latent variable to the indicator, or latent variable to the exogenous variable, whatever you can say. So everywhere this error term will be added. We have already seen. So this is simply the definition of wholly. Then what the Rigdon said, it is a methodology for representing, estimating, and testing the theoretical framework, which I have said in the first class. The structural equation modeling, or the CFA, is nothing but testing your existing theory. Now, most of the time scholars ask, sir, if we are testing the theory, then how come we are doing something different so that we are eligible to get a doctoral degree? My answer is, the entire theory you may not test, the entire model you may not test. You propose your own model based upon the existing theories or concepts or models. So that is the reason you do the extensive literature review, propose a model. Every linkage of your model are nothing but the hypothesis. Every linkage of your model, yani ki from the construct to construct, not from the construct to the indicator. From the construct to construct indicators are nothing but your hypothesis. So all the linkages are not available in a single existing model. All the linkages, suppose this is one construct, another construct is this, another construct is this, and all this construct has been the measurement model, Another construct is this, has been the measurement model. Look at here. Now suppose this is what attitude, and this is what satisfaction, and this is what performance. And you are saying, your hypothesis is saying attitude is significantly influencing, positively and significantly influencing satisfaction, and satisfaction is positively and significantly influencing the performance. Moreover, attitude is directly influencing the performance also. So this is what structural model. This is what structural model, and this is what your measurement model. From the very first class I am saying, this is what your measurement model, and this is what your structural model. In my example, attitude, one construct or latent variable, it is leading to satisfaction, which is another construct or latent variable. Satisfaction is leading to performance, which is another construct or latent variable. And this is what your structural model. When you are measuring the attitude, I think somebody's microphone is unmuted. Please mute it. Okay. But whenever you are measuring one construct by various indicators, this is what called as measurement model. Measurement model you are testing by CFA. Measurement model you are testing by CFA, which I have been doing since last 2-3 classes. I hope you are all clear till now. Now, what it is doing, Let us go for the very beautiful explanation of Bowen and Go. Let us go to the very beautiful explanation of Bowen and Go. What they say, what they said in their article. SCM can be viewed as a general model. Please look at here. General model. General model of what? क्या चीज का general model? General model of analysis of variance, analysis of covariance, multiple regression, factor analysis, path analysis, econometric models. That means in the structural equation modeling, all these things are there. We have repeatedly discussing covariance because we are discussing covariance based model. Whatever I am discussing in all my classes, this is CBSEM, covariance based structural equation modeling. So it is covariance. So multiple linear regressions in every latent variable measurement model. In every measurement model, these are all multiple linear regressions. And the factor analysis, we are doing factor analysis because we are reducing the number of indicators to some single factors or constructs. And all the econometrics, that means relationships. Very simple, well exhaustive, well comprehensive explanation has been given by Bowen and Go. And what they say, SCM is an umbrella of set of multivariate statistical approach. It is an umbrella of set of multivariate statistical approach, where both the conventional and recently developed techniques are there. Very simple. All the conventional techniques like covariance, multiple linear regression, factor analysis, and this recently developed analysis is path analysis. The path analysis are there. So Bowen and Go rightly said it is a well blending or proper blending of both the conventional and recently technique. Now, very ultimately you are using or synonymously you are using structural equation modeling and path analysis. Is there any difference? Because here it is saying also path analysis. So let us go to know the difference. So what I was explaining, please again I am saying this is one measurement model. This is another measurement model. This is another measurement model. This measurement model is attitude, suppose. This measurement model is satisfaction, suppose. This measurement model is performance, suppose. This measurement model you have tested by suppose 4 indicators. This measurement model you have analyzed suppose by 3 indicators, and suppose by 3 indicators. And this measurement model suppose you have you have analyzed by 5 indicators, suppose by 5 indicators, suppose. Our interest, our means researchers' interest, whether attitude leads to satisfaction or not, whether satisfaction leads to performance or not, simultaneously, whether attitude leads to performance or not, simultaneously. So it is a simultaneous factor analysis and regression. Some of the researchers said SCM is nothing but a simultaneous factor analysis and regression. Why? This factor analysis is happening, simultaneously regression is happening. Simultaneously regression is happening. So this is a simultaneous equation solving. So this is a simultaneous equation solving. What I am saying here, this particular arrow mark, these 3 particular arrow mark, these 3 arrow mark, if we take isolatedly without the measurement model, then this is path model. This is path model. I will explain, do not worry. I will operate it through AMOS, do not worry. Now you will ask a question, sir. You have said this simultaneous factor analysis and regression. Now we are saying that without those measurement aspects, only these 3 arrow mark, if tested, then that is path analysis. How come it is possible? That means already you have tested the measurement model. We have tested the measure to these 2 measurement model, these 3 measurement model. Now, while testing the relationship between attitude and satisfaction, no need to take how attitude has been formed, how satisfaction has been formed, how performance has been formed. How attitude has been formed, we have tested already by 3 or 4 indicators or variables. How satisfaction has been formed, here better to say reflected. How satisfaction has been reflected, we have already tested. Now, while testing the relationship of attitude to satisfaction, satisfaction to performance, attitude to performance, no need to take all these indicators. Simply test this relationship, this arrow mark, this arrow mark, this arrow mark, in order to avoid the complexity. Suppose, so in my scholars example, there are 22 variables or indicators under one measurement model. You can imagine how much complex it is. There are so many other measurement models in his research. I will show you now. So in that case, simply take these analysis. How do the analysis? Well, simply take the three analysis: attitude to satisfaction, satisfaction to performance, and attitude to performance. If these three relationship has already been obtained from the literature, if these three relationship you have obtained from the literature, yani ki existing theory or concept or model, then only you can connect. I cannot connect, or you cannot connect, or any researcher cannot connect as he or she wish. In the structural equation modeling, from the very day one, I said it is a confirmatory in sense. Confirmatory in sense. That means you have something from the literature. Literature means from the existing model or existing theory or existing concept. You have something. Based upon the existing theory or concept or literature, you are connecting. Okay. So, in order to avoid the complexity, most of the time after analyzing the measurement model, do not take the indicators, only take the constructs. Now you will say, where from you get the value? Because the indicators have given the value as the indicator value we obtained through the questionnaire. And the latent variables are not unobserved variables. From the very day one, we are saying, in case of SCM, the latent variables or the construct or the factors are unobserved. That means the value of latent variable has been derived from the indicators. The indicators are nothing but the items in your questionnaire. So indicator value we got from the questionnaire. Now, once you got the indicator value from the questionnaire, you make a data imputation. You make a data imputation, which I will discuss here. Do not worry. So once you do the data imputation, the unobserved variable will get the values. The unobserved variables or constructs or latent variable will get the values. Once these unobserved variables will get the value, now you are ready for the path analysis. So in the path analysis, this path analysis is just
excuse me, sir. Please switch off your video, sir. Your voice is breaking, sir.
Okay. Let me do that. Let me do that. Okay. I hope now you will be audible. Am I audible now clearly? Bapan sir, am I audible now? Am I audible now clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is the reason, very rightly it is said, that the path analysis is a special case of ACM. I just explained now that once you tested the measurement models, no need to take all these indicator value again. So what you need to do, you test this arrow mark, this regression, test this arrow mark, test this arrow mark, test this arrow mark. No need to take this indicator value again. That means you will ask the question, this is a latent variable. That means it do not have its own value. So at that time, what you will do, make the data imputation, this unobserved variable or latent variable or construct or factor will get the value from these indicators, will derive the value from this indicator. Now, once all the three unobserved variable in my example will derive the value from their respective indicators, they are ready. We are ready with path analysis. That means only this path will make. So rightly it is said path analysis is a special case of ACM, where path analysis contains only the observed values only. That means it has the observed values only. Now it becomes an observed value. That means it is no more a latent variable now. Once you say latent variable, it do not have any original value. Once you say it is a direct value, it is an observed value. So once you impute the data, it has its own original value. When a particular construct, when a particular variable or a factor has its own values, then it is called as observed value. It has observed values. So once you have made the data imputation, no need to make it circular oval. Now, after getting the value after data imputation, no need to make it circular oval. For the further analysis, we can make it square or rectangle. We can make it square or rectangle while we will do the path analysis. While we will do the path analysis, it will better to understand like this. It will be better to understand like this. Look at here. So this is what the path analysis. So the main difference is that two type of model is that the path analysis assumes all the variables are measured without error. Look at here. It itself has a value. Original value. It is not connected to a particular construct. So how come there is a question of error? If it is connected to a construct, then there will be explanation that how much it has explained, how much it has not explained. At that time, there is an error. So it has its own value. How this value you obtained? You obtained from here by data imputation. I will show you. Do not worry. You obtained for here by data imputation. So this is what the difference between structural model and path model. Very thin line of difference, not so that. So these are all the symbols I have already explained. Again, I am explaining. These are all the symbols. This is what the measurement value or indicator or exogenous variable. This is what the latent variable. These two are the direct relationship, and double-headed arrow mark, it is the covariance. And this is what the error added to a indicator. This is what the error added to a indicator. And this is what the residual added to a construct. This is what the residual added to a construct. Residual added to a construct. Generally, whenever we are making the residual added to a error, that better to call as a residual. So nothing more than that. And this is what from very beginning I was saying. This is what from very beginning I was saying. We are giving a input matrix. We are giving a input correlation matrix. After analyzing all these things, analysis will give us a output correlation matrix. Analysis will give us a output correlation matrix, and the input correlation matrix should match to the the output correlation matrix should match to the input correlation matrix. That means the output correlation matrix should explain fully the input correlation matrix. Simply for this purpose, I have shown this slide, nothing else. Now look at here. This will give you better clarification regarding SCM and the path analysis. Look at here. So this is a measurement model. This is one measurement model. This is another measurement model. This is another measurement model. This measurement model is measured by 3 indicators. I have taken from an article to show you simply how clearly it is defining. This is another measurement model explained by or measured by another 3 indicators. This is measured by another 2 indicators. Whenever you are making a relationship, from this measurement model to this, from this measurement model to this particular relationship become a structural model. This particular relationship become a structural model. What you need to do to make it path analysis in order to avoid the complexity, what you need to do, you make the data imputation separately for this, as a whole. As a result, this latent variable which didn't have any original value, now we will have some value after data imputation. After data imputation, this latent variable which originally didn't have any value, now we will have some value. Now simply we can connect these 3 by making the rectangle or square. No need to make it the latent variable. So very simple analysis can be done instead of the complexity. Instead of going to the complexity. So look at here, it will be give a very clear clarification. Look at here, it is written, it is a structural model, and these 2 are the measurement models linked with exogenous variables. I hope you are all clear now till now. I hope all you are clear till now. And this is what one indication. And these are all the important terms. These are all the important terms. No need to explain anymore because I have repeatedly explained. Repeatedly I have said these are all the assumptions. From the very first class I said the assumption, same assumption of the multivariate analysis, no outlier, no multicollinearity, no missing data, and multivariate normality. If time permits this, I will say this is very important. Generally, whatever you are doing in your MBA or MPhil, these are all univariate normality. For your ANOVA, MANOVA, regression, factor analysis, whatever you have tested for the normality testing, these are all univariate. But for the SCM, we require multivariate normality. Why? Simultaneous equation solving is happening, number one. Number two, maximum likelihood testing is done. So multivariate normality should be proven. We are assuming that our data set is following multivariate normality. We are assuming that our data set is following multivariate normality. This is very important in case of SCM. So if time permits, how to test it, I will say it also. And the independent variables are truly independent. That means while you are collecting the data, there must not be biasness. While you are collecting data, all the things you are collecting, suppose I am collecting the data regarding attitude. I am asking, really I like the university campus. If you say really I like, then that means definitely you are provoking him or her. You are provoking the respondent that he or she should answer yes. That means 4 or 5. Do you think that I think this the flower garden, the building as very much beautiful, that make the campus very much attractive? You have given every indication to say yes, to say 4 or 5 in 5-point Likert scale. Then you are saying coming to the offline class is more enjoyable than the virtual class. That means you have indicated indirectly that the campus is beautiful, hence I am coming to the offline class. So while you are collecting the data, the campus is beautiful is an independent variable. Satisfaction on offline class is a dependent variable. Teachers teaching in the offline class is very interesting. And getting fast on information is another independent variables. So the moment you have collected the independent variables, you have provoked the respondent to make it yes always. So while collecting the data, you need to take utmost care. There must not be any biasness while giving the data, while collecting the data. Otherwise, it is creating a problem in case of SCM. So we are assuming that, okay, independent variables are independent, really independent. Relationship are very much direct, and there is a unidimensionally constructed. Unidimensional, that means there is no cross-loading. These indicators are related to this construct only. Another indicators, these are the indicators related to this construct only. This indicator is not related to this, There are unidimensionality. So already we have explained. Now look at the process of structural equation modeling. All these steps are there in the book Multivariate Data Analysis, here Anderson, Tatham, Black. Do not worry, these are all there in that book. These steps are there. The book called as Multivariate Data Analysis, book name, and the authors are here Anderson, Tatham, Black. This is very famous book, and already the step-by-step thing we have already discussed throughout our previous 4 classes. What I need to do here is I need to simply say after the measurement model, after the measurement model is tested, you need to go to the SCM, structural equation modeling. Who said this? Why I am doing this? Once you test the measurement model by CFA, I should go to the SCM. Who said this? Why I am doing this? One of the famous article available. Almost all researchers who are following both the CFA and SCM, they are citing this article. Look at here. This is a famous article. Almost all authors, this article might have crossed 1 lakh citation. This article, that is Anderson and Gerbing. Look at here. This article you want to cite. So this article says that there is a two-step process two-step approach of doing the structural equation modeling. This Anderson and Gerving, this is very famous. Almost all authors, any article you follow, any thesis you look, who have adopted CF and SCM, they might have given this citation of this article. My screen is visible to all. My screen is visible. Can anybody respond?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Visible.
So while doing the structural equation modeling after CFA, that means through CFA you have tested the measurement model. This process has been initially proposed by Anderson and Gerving. Any famous thesis or article you follow recently, they have cited this article. According to Anderson and Gerving, 1988, the CFA tested 2 measurement models in my scholar's research. Then the scholar has gone for SCM. Very simple language. According to Anderson and Gerving, within bracket 1988, there are 2 measurement models tested through CFA. Then the scholar has gone for, or the scholar has tested the structural equation modeling. So this is freely available, do not worry. Otherwise, I will share with the organizer, do not worry. So after the measurement model, we need to go to the structural equation modeling. I have already explained. Look at the my scholar structural equation modeling. Look at their structural model. Look at the structural model. In the very day one, I have explained key buyer-seller interaction. Look at here, the buyer. Look at my cursor movement. EBSI, buyer-seller interaction, leads to performance, sales performance, leads to sales performance. Buyer's sales performance leads to corporate reputation. COR means corporate reputation. Corporate reputation is causing the employee retention. We have done the research only for the sales employees in the banking industry. And effective buyer-seller interaction. If buyer-seller interaction will be effective, look at my cursor movement, it has a direct impact on sales employee retention with the organization. I repeat, effective buyer-seller interaction leads to the performance of sales employee or employee sales performance. Simple. Employee sales performance, POSC, we have made it a symbol, which leads to, the POSC leads to corporate reputation, COR. And if the corporate reputation enhance, then it is easier to retain the talent in the organization. Further, there is a direct effect of EBSI, that means buyer-seller interaction, on the sales employee retention. Since last 3 classes, I was testing this measurement model only. Please look at my cursor movement. Since last 2 and 3 classes, we have tested this measurement model only, that is EBSI. There are 5 constructs: credibility, convenience, compatibility, caring, and comprehension. So this measurement model I was testing. So that scholar has tested another measurement model, that is performance. The performance has 4 latent variables. That is action, attention, adherence, and authentication. See, that is the reason these 4 latent variables has been measured and connected to another latent variable, which is called as second order CFA. In the buyer-seller interaction also, there are 5 latent variables which has been tested by CFA, and again it has been leading to the another construct which is called as effectiveness of buyer-seller interaction, which is the again another second order CFA. So 2 second order CFA has been measured here. And these are all single isolated construct: corporate reputation and sales employee retention. Why I am saying this? While I will go to this SCM, this will be tested. That is the reason I explained. So while explaining the SCM, what is that SCM structural equation modeling? The EBSI leads to POSC, POSC leads to COR, COR led to SCR. Prior to that, according to Anderson and Gerving, we have tested the CFA. Now in the SCM, no need to discuss the CFA. Please repeat, I am repeating. Now no need to discuss the CFA, only we will test the structural model, because prior to structural model, I have already tested, we have already tested the measurement models. According to Anderson and Gerving, we have already tested the measurement model. These two measurement model has been tested by second order CFA. Now we are ready to go for structural model by SEM, structural equation modeling technique. So now this is what the structural model, the entire model we can say popularly as the structural model, as the structural model. I hope you are clear now. I hope you are clear now. I hope all of you are clear now till now. Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Anybody
Yes,
can
yes,
respond?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now let us test. Let us test. Give the feeding of data set to the structural model. Give the feeding of data set to the structural model. Now the AMOS has taken the SPSS data set. Now let us specify what we want to do, want to have. I think already everything has been specified. Everything has been specified, which are required for us. Yes, everything, the important thing has been specified. Now we are ready to analysis. Anything else? We are ready to analysis. I have already drawn it because in order to draw it in front of you, it will take much more time. So I have already drawn it. Let us analyze. You can click here in the icon of calculate estimate, or you can go to the analyze menu, and click on the calculate estimate. Click on the calculate estimate. Now calculation is going on. Calculation is over because the upward red mark has been highlighted. Look at here, the upward red mark has been highlighted. Calculation is over. Now look at here. Now look at here. Click here. It is unstandardized. Let us click on standardized estimate. Let us click on standardized estimate. Now look at here. Look at my red highlighted arrow mark. Effectiveness of buyer-seller interaction is having the impact on sales performance by 0.23. That means 23%. Look at the red highlighted arrow mark. Effectiveness of buyer-seller interaction is having the impact on sales performance by 23%, because the value, regression weight, standardized regression weight is 0.23. The standardized regression weight is 0.23. So we can interpret as the effectiveness of buyer-seller interaction is having 23% impact on the sales employee performance. Now look at this red value, red highlighted arrow mark. Look at this red highlighted arrow mark. Please look at this red highlighted arrow mark. What the structural model says, sales employees performance is having impact by 25% on the corporate reputation, because the regression weight is 0.25. Look at here, 0.25. Regression weight is 0.25. Now coming to another your path of this path model. Look at this red highlighted arrow mark. Look at the red highlighted arrow mark. The corporate reputation is having 18% impact on the sales employee retention. Why? The regression weight, standardized regression weight is 0.18. The standardized regression weight is 0.18. Look at the direct impact. Tomorrow you will discuss in the next class, another teacher will discuss direct and indirect impact, mediation and moderation. Do not worry. So here I will only give a hints. Who are the mediator? EBSI is leading to retention through POSC and COR. So these two are the mediators. In the next class, another teacher will tell you mediation and moderation. Simply I am giving you with the hints that the POSC is one mediator and COR is another mediator in my example, in my test. So simply these are all called a serial mediation model. Simply serial mediation model. So EBSI to POSC to COR to SER, it is the indirect path. It is the indirect path. What is the direct path? Direct path is the EBSI to SERB. That means directly buyer-seller interaction, if it will be effective, it can have an impact on sales employee retention. Indirectly, the buyer-seller interaction can have the effect on retention through, indirectly on retention through sales performance and corporate reputation. So in the next class, another teacher will say you this mediation moderation. Do not worry. Simply I have explained because somebody may confuse how come it is an indirect effect. For that purpose, I have explained now. So indirectly, EBSI has been putting the impact on ACRB through the mediation of POSC and COR. Directly, EBSI having the impact on ACRB. So directly it has been the impact on ACRB. So what is the direct impact? Look at the red highlighted arrow mark. The direct impact is also 18% because the standardized regression weight is 0.18. Now the most important question arises, how come we will believe this? That means directly whether these values are significant. This is the most important question in any statistical model, in any statistical equation, in any statistical analysis or empirical analysis, whether these values are significant or not. If not, then whatever model I have proposed, my scholar or we both have proposed based upon the existing theory. See, again I am explaining. The buyer-seller interaction, if effective, it is connecting to the sales performance. We got from so many authors, so many articles. Separately, we got from so many other articles, if performance enhanced, there is a positive impact on corporate reputation. Separately, we got from various articles that if corporate reputation is high, then sales employee retention or employee retention is high. Now, based upon all the separate connections or relationship, we have proposed a model. Now it becomes confirmatory. All the linkage, look at here, all the four main linkages we obtained from literature. All the four important linkages or regressions or connections or relationship we got from different literatures. Our novelty, our contribution, for which he or she will be awarded with doctoral degree, our contribution is the structural model. Simultaneously, effectiveness of buyer-seller interaction with the performance, with the corporate reputation, with the retention, nobody has studied. So we have studied and proven that. Okay, now coming back to our discussion, how come we will say really these values are significant and hence you are confirming to the theory? Because ACM is mostly a confirmatory analysis. How come we will say these values are significant and hence your analysis is confirming to the existing theory or model? Confirming to the existing theories or model. Now look at here. Look at we should go to the text output. So there are two options. You can go to the icon. Look at my cursor movement. There is the icon text output, view text. Otherwise, you can go to the view menu. Go to the view menu. Click on the text output. Click on the text output. Automatically another screen will open by showing the text output. Automatically another screen will open by showing the text output. Let us wait. The text output is coming. This is very important. Two important things. One is reliability, validity. So this is very important. That is the reason I said first. The second most important thing is the significance of all the relationship in the structural model. In the structural model. But in the measurement model or CFA, reliability, validity is very important. In the structural model, whether the relationship are significant or not. Now look at, please go towards the estimates. Please click on the estimates. Okay, I think you have not operated. Okay, let me operate and show you. Estimates. Now look at here. Please look at here. See, what is my direct relationship? EBSI to ACRB. Look at here. Look at here, EBSI to ACRB. Look at here, EBSI to ACRB. EBSI to ACRB. So this estimate is added with the p value. Look at here, p value as triple star. That means it is significant at the level of 0.001. That means it is significant at 1% level of significance. This triple star refers the value is less than 0.001. That means it is significant at 1% level of significance. Had this value been 0.04, had this value, this p value Look at here, had this p-value been 0.04, 0.049, then also we can accept that the impact or regression weight is significant, because it is significant on 5% level of significance, because the p-value, which is called as the p-value, is significant on 5% level of significance, because 0.049 is less than 0.05. 0.05. So we can say mostly in the structural equation modeling, we are taking the 1% or 5%. 1% it is extremely good. Even if 5% level of significance, it is acceptable. Do not worry. So look at here, all the p-values. All the p-values are triple star. That means they are significant on 1% level of significance. They are significant on 1% level of significance. Look at here, all the p-values are triple star. That means they are significant on 1% level of significance. What you will do, directly you will take this file to your Word file of thesis or the article. Generally, such a huge file do not take to the article. Generally, it is taken to a thesis, and it will become a box, where at the end of the box you delete this label and make it remark and say that this hypothesis is significant. This hypothesis is significant. What is that hypothesis? Effectiveness of buyer-seller. Look at my cursor movement. This, what is this hypothesis? Effectiveness of buyer-seller interaction have a significant positive impact on sales employee performance. This hypothesis is significantly accepted or significantly supported. Nowadays, better what to say, supported. Main four hypotheses I am saying. What is the second hypothesis? Performance leads to corporate reputation. This is the second hypothesis. Performance leads to corporate reputation. Sales employees' performance have a significant positive impact on corporate reputation. This hypothesis also accepted at 1% level of significance or supported. So in the last column of your box, you will write supported simply. This hypothesis supported. Then corporate reputation is having a significant positive impact on sales employee retention. Look at my cursor movement. Look at my cursor movement. This hypothesis is also supported at 1% level of significance. Simply you write here supported. And the most important direct impact, that is EBSI leads to SCRB. Look at here. EBSI leads to SCRB. This is the direct impact. So what is the hypothesis? Effectiveness of buyer-seller interaction have a positive significant impact on sales employee retention. This is also accepted or supported at 1% level of significance. So these four relationships says four structural model relationship. These four relationships says. Clear? Is that right? Significant? These are all significant. And the measurement model carry the indicators. What are the indicators? For the second order factorial CFA, EBSI is built up of, look at here, EBSI is built up of 5 constructs. This is one construct. This is one construct. This is another construct. This is another construct. And this is another construct. And this is another construct. EBSI, where is EBSI? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ho gaya 5. So these five is the second order CFA for EBSI, yani ki effectiveness of buyer-seller interaction. So these are all the significance of values. The last important term is model fitting, which I have told in the very first class. The model need to fit to the data so that you can say that your proposed model is confirmed. The model must fit to your data that you have collected through questionnaire or interview schedule, so that you can say that your model is confirmed. Your proposed model is confirmed. Model need to fit to the data. The third important discussion is model fitting, which is very complex but easy to understand. because so many model fitting indices has been proposed by so many researchers. So let us go to the model fitting indices. Look at here, there is an option model fitting indices. Look at here, there is an option called as model fitting indices. Sorry, it is modification, model fitting indices. Where is that model fitting indices? Model fit. See, look at here, there is an option. Look at my cursor movement. There is an option called as model fit. Click there. All the model fitting indices will be given to you. Look at here, model fitting indices. Do not worry, so many model fitting indices are there, but not all the model fitting indices, not all the index are required for every model. Not all the index are required for every model. Do not worry for all these things. Let us go one by one. These two set of model fitting indices, are very important to be reported in most of the articular thesis. These two set of model fitting indices. First one is RMR, GFI. GFI means goodness of fit index. AGFI, adjusted goodness of fit index. PGFI, parsimonious goodness of fit index. NFI, normed fit index. RFI, recursive fit index or relative fit index. IFI, incremental fit index. TLI, Tucker-Lewis fit index. CFI, comparative fit index. At least these fit indices need to go above the standardized aspects that has been proposed by various researchers. Most famous researcher is Hu and Bentler. Hu, Bentler, Hu, they have separately done by various research, and Hu, Bentler, they have done combined research work. They have explained initially in 1992, if GFI, AGFI, and this NFI, RFI, IFI, and TLI and CFI, they are crossing 0.9, then your model is fitting to the data. That means that is a very good fit indices. But later on, in 1999, they said no, for the goodness of fit index, even you should go to 0.95. Even you should go to the 0.95. So any one article you give the citation and you say ki GFI is 0.911, which is more than 0.9. According to Hu, Bentler 1992, it is accepted, or it is a good fitting, or it is a nice fitting. AGFI, it is also above 0.9. If it is more than 0.95, then you give the citation of another article, Hu, Bentler article in 1999. Also, another very good famous author who is called as Krosgar, another very good author, Krosgar, he has said that it should be more than 0.95. So any one such article you can cite and say that GFI, AGFI are more than 0.9. So there is a indication that model is fitting to the data, or there is a goodness of fit. Now coming to the PGFI, parsimonious fit. The word parsimonious refers that you are adding a penalty. Ki in case some optimistic value might have taken, so add a penalty. Is it more than 0.75? If it is more than 0.75, even adding penalty to the model, then the model is good fit. So the PGFI value, the standard value is 0.75. I repeat, GFI, AGFI standard value is 0.9 above, or 0.95 above is also very good, but the PGFI value is 0.75 above. So if you say, so it is more than the 0.75 because it is 0.822. So again, another fit index is saying that model is good fit. I have knowingly left this RMR. Later on, I will say the RMR. Do not worry. Now coming to the NFI, normed fit index. It is also 0.906. 906. It is crossing the 9.9. So it is a good fit. Look at your RFI, relative fit index. It is also 0.901. IFI, incremental fit index, it is also above 0.95. So what I can do while explaining these three, IFI, TLI and CFI, I can give the citation of Hu, Bentler 1999 and Krosgar 1995. I can give the citation. I can say ki IFI, TLI and CFI, these are all crossing 0.95 because the values are 0.976, 0.975, 0.976 respectively. So model is nicely fitting. There is a nice fitting of data or excellent fitting of data or appropriate fitting of data. So these are all the values which need to be more than 0.9 at least, and the PGFI value should more than 0.75. Now coming to the badness of fit. These are all goodness of fit. These are all goodness of fit. Now coming to the badness of fit. What is the badness of fit? That means how data is not deviating from the mean value. How much the data is not, your model is not deviating. So which can be measured by the chi-square value. Look at here, the C mean divided by or C mean by DF. C mean by DF is nothing but a chi-square value. The C mean, look at my cursor movement. The C mean by DF is nothing but a chi-square value, and the value is 1.307, which should be insignificant. Which should be insignificant, but it is significant. I repeat, the chi-square value should be insignificant. Yani ki should be more than 0.05, but here it is insignificant. In this fit index, this research could not support. However, some other authors said if the chi-square is less than 3, another indication is there, it is a goodness of fit, because the chi-square value is sample specific. If this more the sample size, definitely chi-square value is significant. In the structural equation modeling, we expect the chi-square value should be insignificant. Try to remember. In the structural equation modeling, researchers expect that the chi-square value should be insignificant. Insignificant chi-square value is saying badness of fit is lesser. It is badness of fit is lesser. But the chi-square value is sensitive to the sample size. Chi-square value is sensitive to the sample size. Here sample size is more than 400. So chi-square value compelled to be significant. Forget it. Some other author said, some other researcher said, if the chi-square value is less than 3, if the chi-square value is less than 3, you are asking something? Okay. If the chi-square value is less than 3, then also we can say the model is fitting. The model is fitting. Now coming to another badness of it, that is RMR. RMR should be less than 0.05. RMR should be less than 0.05. But however, some of the researchers said even if it is less than 0.08, we can say model is fitting. We may not say model is perfectly fitting, but we can say model is fitting. If this RMR value will be less than 0.05, then model is perfectly fitting, nice fitting, or the appropriate word is close fitting. Appropriate word you can find in various articles is close fitting. Here it is not closely fitting, but is acceptable fitting because it is less than 0.08. 0.08. It is 0.063, less than 0.08. Although it is not less than 0.05, we can accept it. We may not say it is close fitting, but it is acceptable fitting. Another badness of fit, come to here. Another badness of fit is RMSE. Root mean standard square error. Root mean square error. Simply we say root mean square error. The standard form of root mean square error. It must be 0.05. Look at here, it should be 0.05. Even some authors are saying even if it is less than 0.08, it is also acceptable. So in this case, it is less than 0.05. So it is close fitting. It is saying this index is close fitting. So whatever the fit indices I explained now, these are all very common in this type of research. These are all very common in this type of research. What are those? Again, I am repeating. GFI, AGFI should be more than 0.9. NFI, RFI, IFI, TLI, CFI should be more than 0.9. It will be excellent if it would be more than 0.95. PGFI, it should be more than 0.75. These are all more than. Now coming to the less than. What is less than? C mean by degree of freedom. That is chi-square value. Look at here. initially we got the chi-square value also. Look at here. This is also a chi-square value. We have already said, we have already discussed the chi-square value. So it is standardized, and hence this is chi-square value. Look at here. This is chi-square value. It has been standardized and it has been given in this form: C mean by degree of freedom. Standardized C mean by degree of freedom. It should be less than 3, not 0.33. Here it is 1.307, less than 3. So we can say the model is fitting to the acceptable range. The RMR should be less than 0.05. Most of the authors said it should be, it can be accepted if it is less than 0.08. So it is accepted. Now coming to RMSE, it should be less than 0.05. Even if it can be accepted if it is less than 0.08. So here also it is close fitting. So these are all in fit indices are saying my model is close fitting. Which model? The structural model. Which model? The structural model is closely fitting or acceptable fitting, except one, that is chi-square, which should be insignificant. But almost all books are saying chi-square value is sensitive to the sample size. So in most of the cases it is becoming significant, although it is expected to be insignificant. Almost all important fit indices are significantly higher than the standard value. So structural model is fitting. Structural model is substantiating to the literature. Structural model is substantiating to the existing theory or concept. So structural model, yani ki model fitting indices passed my model. Model fitting indices passed my proposed model, that this model can be generalized. This model can be generalized. This model can be generalized. Are you all listening? Till now, let me ask something. Till now, let me take some questions if you have, if you can. So I am in doubt whether how many of you are listening. Still, those who are listening, they can ask. Is there any doubt? Those who are listening, they can ask. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? Are you listening or not? I mean.
Yes, sir.
Bapan sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there everything clear or any other doubt? So by the time you can ask the question in case of chat media also, but nobody has asked anything. Let us take any question, any doubt, anything.
So I think while practicing with, yes sir, I think while practicing with our own data set, then we might face some of the queries, and then definitely we need to take your help, sir.
Definitely. See, after this, I may not be available, but if anybody want to take my help, they can reach me to my email. They can reach me to my email ID. They can reach me to my email ID. So this is what my email ID. After this, I may not be available, but these are all very common things in book, in article. Any researcher you will face in your future. These are a very common thing. Only you need to practice and know the standard values. Still, if anybody wishes to reach me, they can reach me in this email ID. Okay. Madam, someone was asking something. Someone is asking something. Someone are asking something.
Sir, there is a request. If you can please share the citation articles which you have mentioned. That would be a help to us to get through and really try to understand more on.
Some of the articles I have. See,
although we have noted, but maybe I request if you can just share the link of those articles. That would be a little easier for us.
Somebody is asking something. Okay. So, madam, may I know your name? Madam? Madam?
Sir, this is Manisha.
See, this Anderson and Kerving, it is freely available. Still, I will share. And what I'm suggesting, in most of the cases, simply you give in most of the cases, simply you give the standard value that it should be more than 0.9 according to Who Ventler 1992, because almost all are giving this article. See, there is a book. Let me show. There is a book called as Structural Equation Modeling, Indian Edition. Structural Equation Modeling, Indian Edition, Byron, B-Y-R-N-E. You can purchase that book. It is giving a very basic idea regarding this structural equation modeling through AMOS. Byron, B-Y-R-N-E. Structural equation modeling. It has its world edition. It is much more price, maybe more than 7,000-8,000, but Indian edition may be costing 2,000-3,000. So you can purchase that book, or if the book are available in most of the library. In most of the library, this book is up. And for the fundamental theoretical aspect of ACM, the book I said multivariate data analysis. Book name is Multivariate Data Analysis. Authors are Hare, Anderson, Tatham, Black. Hare, Anderson, Tatham, Black, Babin. 5 authors are there. It's a very famous book. Very famous book. Anybody who knows something regarding structural equation modeling, they must refer this book. They might have been referred this book. They must have been referred this book. Book name is Multivariate Data Analysis. Hare, Anderson, Tatham, Black, Babin. There is a 5-author book. An excellent book which will give you fundamental clarity regarding structural equation modeling, CFA, and measurement modeling. But so far as testing in AMOS is concerned, you can refer this Byron book. AMOS में कैसे testing करोगे? You can refer this Byron book. Book name is Structural Equation Modeling, ACM, by Byron, B-Y-R-N-E. You can purchase the Indian edition or economy edition, which is very good for AMOS. So many books are available, so many books, but generally these 2 books are very common. So in that book, Madam Manisha Madam.
Yes, sir.
Manisha Madam.
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
So in that Byron book, all the citation I have given are available. Simply you can type on Google and you can get it. You can get it. So all the citation I'm saying, ki Who, Ventler, separate research of Who, Ventler, Krusgar, all the citation, almost all the citation are given in that Byron book. Still, I have 2-3. I will share with the organizer. They will share it. Do not worry.
Okay, sir. This is only for the quick reference because you have mentioned these citations, so probably it will quick reference to us. That's it. That was the only concern.
I have 2-3 articles. I will share with the organizer. They will share with all of you. Do not worry.
Okay,
but all the important citations are there in the Byron book. B-Y-R-N-E. Do not worry.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
Once you get the reference complete thing, you can get it from anywhere, any Google or any paid these are all available in your what is that called as EBSCO, Emerald, everywhere available. And some of the articles are available in the ProQuest also. Some of the articles nowadays are so popular that these are all available in your ResearchGate. Most of the citation I have said now, I think most of them are available in the ResearchGate also, because these are all old article and the original author has given it by making their kind-hearted thing to the young researchers like me. They have shared it in the ResearchGate. So please make an account in the ResearchGate and you make a request to those authors. They are very kind enough. They will share with you the articles. Okay. All of you can open an account in the ResearchGate. Any request to any author you say, if it is 10-15 years old, like I'm saying 1992, 1999, they will happily share with you. You request that I want to refer, they will happily share with you. By this way, I got 2-3 articles by requesting those original authors, and they have shared with me various articles. You can cite it. Do not worry.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so
These are
much.
all freely available. These are all freely available in ResearchGate. Most of them, not all, but most of them in the ResearchGate. These are all freely available. Clear?
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so
Any
much,
other-
sir,
any
for
other-
a very informative session. Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion you want to make? Okay. Now, so many things are there. What I can do, what I wanted to say is, there is a discussion. I say the most important thing is multivariate normality. Whatever you have done in your MBA or MPhil or in a beginning stage, for the ANOVA, for regression, for factor analysis, for MANOVA, whatever you have done for cluster analysis, you have done the univariate normality testing. Does your Kruskal-Wallis test, Shapiro test, most of the tests are referred to univariate, but SCM require multivariate normality. The multivariate normality assumption must not violate. Multivariate normality assumption must not violate. So how to test that? All of you are agreed to know all these things, or should I move ahead to the SCM depth? Most of the participants, whatever you say, I will do accordingly. If you want to say that I should go to the depth of the SCM, then I will go. If you say that the normality assumption testing I should do, I will do. Should I do the normality assumption testing? Should I do the normality assumption testing?
Yes,
So
sir.
look at here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, look at here. For that purpose, again, you need to go to the, already the data file has been incorporated. You need to go to the analysis property. Directly there is an option. Look at here. Directly there is an option, test for normality and outlier. Click there. There is an option, test for normality and outlier. Click that. Once you click that, you can do in your CFA also. Just in order to get the value. Do not worry. Whatever CFA you have done, you can do it in your CFA also. Please practice. All of you, please practice. Click here, test the normality and outlier. That is a direct option. There are so many indirect methods are there. I will tell later on. There is a direct option. So click that, close it, then analyze, calculate the estimate, calculate the estimate. Now calculate. The calculation process is going on. Now let us go to the text output. Let us go to the text output, view text icon. I'm clicking here. Let us go to the text output. I think already the text output is available to me, so no other. Go to the text output, and there is a assessment of normality. Look at here. There is a option, assessment of normality. Click there, and you are getting. Look at here. Look at this table, assessment of normality. See, what are the primary indicator of normality? Skewness and kurtosis. So the skewness and kurtosis values are given along with their t value. The CR value are nothing but a t value. The CR values are nothing but the t value. T, small t. The t test you are doing, that same value here. The CR values are nothing but the t value. What is happening? The CR values must be between minus 1.98 to 1.98. Why? Because at 5% level of significance, the standardized Z score is 1.98. Everybody knows. Everybody knows from the very beginning of nowadays in the +2 commerce career also. Very beginning of +2 commerce career also most of they are knowing कि standardized Z value at 5% level of significance is 1.98. Standardized score of Z at 5% level of significance is 1.98. If it is a two-tail test, then minus 1.98, and if it is a +1 plus 1.98. So almost all things we are taking from minus 1.98 to plus 1.98. So if your t values are between minus 1.98 to plus 1.98, then the multivariate normality hold good has not been violated.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me,
Yes,
sir.
you are
Is it
excused.
1.96? 1.96, sir, I think.
Yes, I'm sorry. 1.96. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, 1.96. Fine. You are absolutely correct. 1.96. Yes. So if the T values here, these are all CR values. CR is popularly called as T. The AMOS is calculating as a critical ratio. This critical ratio are nothing but T values. If the T values are between minus 1.96 to plus 1.96, then multivariate normality assumption hold good. Multivariate normality assumption has not been violated. Now look at here. These two things are above. Beyond these two, look at here, 2.048, 2.795. Here in the kurtosis, 3.73, 754, 3.896. These two values are beyond our range. Our range is minus 1.96 to plus 1.96. These two values are beyond our range so far as skewness and kurtosis are concerned. But rest all, only here also. Here also, these are all 5. These are all 5. So these are all violating our assumption. But all these are the univariate assumption, univariate normality assumption. Now at last, look at here. There is a multivariate assumption. Well above. So multivariate assumption is violating in some cases because the sample size is more than 400. Still, multivariate assumption is violating, we can see. Multivariate assumption is violating. If you go to the univariate assumption, most of the univariate assumption hold good. Some of the univariate assumption are violating. So this is what the testing of assumption, testing of multivariate assumption. Now, how you will do this multivariate normality assumption in SPSS? Suppose somebody is saying, in your MANOVA, multiple analysis of variance, in your MANOVA, you require multivariate analysis of multivariate normality assumption. In your ANOVA, you may go by univariate, but in your MANOVA, you require multivariate. Suppose somebody will say, apart from AMOS, how can I do the multivariate, how can I test the multivariate normality assumption testing? So go to the SPSS, there is a option graph. Please look at here. There is an option graph. Go to the graph. You can do it because this test is this file is there with you. There is a graph. Go to the legacy dialogues. Go to the legacy dialogue. Then go to the box plot. Go to the box plot. Then there will be a, I think, pop-up. No, this is not the right thing. Go to the graph. Go to the legacy dialog. Now go to the scatter plot. Scatter plot. So again, I'm saying go to the graph. Go to the legacy dialogues. Go to the scatter plot and click there. Go to the scatter plot and click there. Click there. Look at here. There is an automatic pop-up box. And click on the matrix scatter. Click on the matrix scatter. Click. Because matrix scatter will make a matrix of all the variable. And hence, the multivariate normality assumption will be tested. Matrix scatter will prepare a matrix of all the variables. X1, X2, X3, X4, X5 with X1, X2, X3, X4, X5. A matrix will be created of X1, X2, X3, X4, X5 with X1, X2, X3, X4, X5. They will create a matrix. So multivariate assumption will be tested. So multivariate assumption will be tested. So select that matrix scatter. Select that matrix scatter and define which thing you want to test. Which thing you want to test. Now, for the sake of simplicity, I will take some of the variables. Otherwise, the matrix scatter will be complex. For the sake of simplicity, I will take some of the variables, not all. Okay, these CR values, suppose these ACR values I am taking, which are PSC, PSC. Okay, yes, ACR values I am taking. All the ACR values, because multivariate normality, all the ACR values I am taking to the matrix. Now option, and everything is okay, not to do anything. Title we do not require, done. Now okay, look at here. It is taking time. Whenever we are giving the instruction to the SPSS for any graph or matrix, it is taking time. Look at here. Look at this matrix. All of you, please look at this matrix. See, in the AMOS, I failed to prove the multivariate normality, but in the matrix, I succeed. How? Look at here. Very beautifully scattered, uniformly scattered, except some few. Look at this few space are there, but most of the boxes are very beautifully scattered, the values, which says multivariate normality assumption didn't violate so seriously. Multivariate normality assumption didn't violate so seriously for the SCR. That is for the what is that called as retention factors, these 5 factors. See, the matrix is creating a matrix of the same 5 factors in both the side, so the diagonal values are 1, so no need to prepare the matrix. So that is the reason. Look at here, the diagonal values are not appearing anything, but the off diagonal values are the mirror image of each other. The off diagonal values are the mirror image of each other. So you can take any one part of the matrix. You can take any one part of the matrix and observe how uniformly distributed throughout the box. If it is uniformly distributed throughout the box, then you can say multivariate normality assumption has not been violated. Hold good. Almost. My multivariate normality assumption hold good. That means in the statistics you can say a single test cannot confirm you any particular assumption. A single test cannot confirm you any particular assumption. So you need to do multiple tests. You do in AMOS, do in SPSS, then confirm. So in the SPSS, I say, okay, although in some cases it is violating the multivariate assumption, but in most of the cases it is safe. It is safe. Multivariate normality assumption has not been violated that much seriously. So let us take another construct. Go to the graph, go to the legacy dialog, go to the scattered plot, select the matrix has already been selected, then define. Let us take the indicators of another construct. Let us take the CR values. What is happening? CR values. These 4 CR values. So it will create a matrix of 4 into 4. Then okay. Now look at here how beautifully distributed. Here, so far as CR value, corporate reputation indicators are concerned, it is perfectly holds good the multivariate normality assumption. No way the multivariate normality assumption has been violated so far as the variables or items of the corporate reputation are concerned. Corporate reputation we have measured by 4 items. So far as corporate reputation items are concerned, multivariate normality assumption has not been violated at all. Look at here, perfectly distributed. They are all perfectly distributed. Only this one is gap. Otherwise, they are all perfectly distributed. So multivariate normality assumption hold good. Didn't violate. I hope up to this the multivariate normality assumption has been tested. Clear? Clear? Any question till now? Any question till now? Let us take some question. Any question till now? Any question till now?
No, sir. It's clear.
People are listening or not? I am in doubt.
Clear, sir. Clear, sir.
People are listening, or it is
Sir, we are
something.
listening. We are actually absorbing.
Sir, yes,
Sir, we are going with you, sir.
Tell me.
Sometimes, sir, it takes time to respond, sir.
Okay. Do not worry. This is, every system has some limitation. So virtual class is also having some limitation. Do not worry. I am comfortable. Do not worry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So every testing has some limitation. So the virtual class testing is also having some limitation, and this is what the limitation. Bapan sir, Bapan.
But yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is very advantageous, sir, because you are staying somewhere and we are staying somewhere, but we can learn many things from you, sir. Because of this partial advantage. Yes,
somebody is asking, Yogesh is asking, sir, can we test the ACM in every thesis topic? No, sir. Yogesh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You asked a question that can we test the ACM in every thesis? No, no. From very day one of my class, please listen. From the day one of my class, I said, if your thesis require testing of an existing theory to confirm, then adopt ACM. Otherwise, not required. If your thesis have some hypothesis, have some objective that you require to confirm some existing literature, existing theory or model, then test it. Otherwise, not required. Most of the cases, these today's scholars are saying, ACM डाल दो, thesis बढ़िया हो जाएगा, which is a wrong thing. If you want to adopt ACM, then take a topic, do the literature review extensively, propose a model. Your proposed model must be based upon existing literature. Your proposed model must be based upon existing literature. That means existing theory or concept. Then you can adopt the ACM. If nothing is there in your research topic to confirm, to test the theory or to test the concept or to test the model, then there is no requirement of ACM. Your guess, am I satisfactory to you?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please mute yourself because it is echoing. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Okay, any other question? No. No other question. So if still any other doubt or question is there, you can ask. So should we go to the path analysis? No. Another thing is there, very important thing. Look at here. Another thing is there in the structural model. Sorry, in the measurement model. Look at here. That thing I think was there in my session, my class 3 or session 3 or 4. There was a thing called as modification indices. Can you please see this syllabus or your schedule and say somewhere it has written modification indices? I could not cover that. In your schedule, somewhere a modification indices were there. I could not cover that. Let me cover that. Are you all ready for another 5 to 10 minutes? Are you all ready? Are you all ready?
Sir, I think
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Somewhere in your schedule, in my sessions, there was a concept called as modification indices. I could not cover that. It will take maximum 5 to 10 minutes. 10 minutes. If you are ready, I will explain. If you are exhausted, I will stop. If you are ready, I will explain. Ready? See.
Sir, please explain. We are ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Let me analyze again. My screen is visible to all. My
Yes,
screen
sir.
is visible to all? Okay. Okay. So analyze. Okay. Now I am going to the modification indices of this measurement model. See, measurement model, you now must explain two things. One is modification indices. Another thing is your reliability validity. But mostly for the structural model, the modification indices are sufficient because you have already tested the reliability validity. So one of the measurement model I am taking, this is the measurement model for the buyer-seller interaction effectiveness. So I will go to the modification indices, go to the view text. Already view text is open, so it is there. The view text. So go to the modification model fit. Look at here. So these are all the model fitting of one of the measurement model, CFA. Earlier of this today's session, I was explaining model fitting indices for SCM, structural model. But here I am showing the model fitting indices for one of the measurement model, that is CFA. Look at here. Suppose, suppose somebody's fit indices are little less than 0.9. Let it be 0.89, 0.88, likewise. So what it will do, it has no other option. See, one of the most important option is enlarge your sample size. Sample size ko badha do. So model fitting indices have the probability to go above 9. But in most of the cases, it is not that easy to enlarge the sample size. At that time, what will happen, whether any error term can be correlated or not. Some of the researchers propose whether any error term can be correlated or not. Error terms. Look at here. This error term can be correlated or. Please look at here, these error terms. So these error terms can be correlated or not. Now we will say, why you will correlate the error term? What is the logic behind it? What is error? Error is the amount of variance that could not be explained by this indicator for the construct. The amount of variance of the construct that has not been explained by this indicator. This is the error term. And likewise, this error term, the amount of variance of F1 could not be explained by BSI4. Likewise, this error term. This error term is the amount of variance of the F1 that could not be explained by BSI3. Now, suppose that is a similarity because of some property or characteristics, exactly some values of BSI4 and BSI3 or BSI4 and BSI2 has not been explained exactly the same or similar error because of some common property, common characteristics. Because of some common characteristics, some of the error term are similar or same. We can connect those. We can covariate those. So how you will covariate those? Select any error term. Suppose how you will covariate later on I will say logically, but here I am only saying the representation of the AMOS screen. Select, suppose there is a similarity of characteristics of E5 and E2. Select these two only, then covariate by double-headed arrow mark, then covariation done. Okay, let me do it to the upward so that it will be select all, deselect all, now select all, now rotate. The rotation is happening or not? No, it is not happening. No, not happening. Okay, let it be. So now correlate these two error term. You will correlate these two error term. Now you will ask the question, sir, how could you know that E4 and E2 are having some similar properties? How could you know that E4 and E2 are having some similar property? For that purpose, we need to go for modification indices. Look at here. There is a term called as modification indices in the output screen. Please go to the output screen if you are operating. Go to the output screen. Go to, there is a term, look at your modification indices. Go to the term, there is a term called as modification indices. So these are all modification indices. What the thumb rule says, that particular relationship should be covariate, which is giving more value, which is giving more positive value. So simply we will discard the negative values. So these are all negative values. Look at my cursor, minus 0.078, minus 0.049, minus 0.065. These are all negative values. We must not consider this. Those values which are giving positive highest value, these two values we will correlate. Number one. Number two, how we will correlate? Only we will correlate or covariate those error term of a single construct. Now look at here. That means we can correlate the error term within the BSI 5 to BSI 1, or within BSI 6 to BSI 10, or within BSI 11 to BSI 14. We cannot correlate. Look at here. We cannot correlate from E1 to E22. We cannot, because these two error term belongs to two different constructs. So I think I have shown in my one of my PPT. Yes. One of my PPT is well explaining all these things. Let me go to that PPT. If you are this PPT is visible to all. PPT is visible. Can anybody respond?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Look at here. This is the only thing which is acceptable. Look at here. This is the only thing which is acceptable. This is the only thing which is acceptable. All other things are unacceptable. That means error term of a single construct can be covariated. So in this picture example, E1 to E3 is correlated. You cannot correlate E3 to E4 or E3 to E6. Error term of E5 to E6 is correlated. You cannot correlate this. This is wrong thing. Inappropriate. It is written. Look at here. E1 is related to E4. E1 belongs to one construct. E4 belongs to another construct, which is wrong. And this is the assumption I have told from very beginning. Assumption में बता दिया था कि the error must not be correlated with the latent variable or construct. So this is also wrong. The one indicator must not be correlated to another indicator. It is also wrong. Only error terms should be related to each other if it is coming under one construct. And which error term you will correlate, that will be known from modification indices. Now look at the modification indices. What I said, those modification indices will be correlated which are carrying highest positive values, larger positive values, if come under only and only if it is coming under one construct. Look at here. What is the positive value? This is the positive. Any positive value, highest positive value. Look at here. It's a very good thing. E1 to E2. E1, E2. Please remember, these two things are there under one construct. That is F1. And this is positive. And this is highest value, 21.438. The modification index is 21.438, which is positive. So E1 to E2 we can relate. Why we will relate? I have already said the reason, in order to improve the fit indices. If somebody's fit index is 0.89, then it will be improved. Without doing any chedkhani to the sample. It will be improved by doing the modification indices. This is the purpose. This is the basic purpose. Purpose is to improve the fit indices. If your fit indices are less than 0.9, or RMR, RMSE are more than 0.05, GFI, AGFI, CFI, NFI if less than 0.9, or RMR, RMSEA if more than 0.05, then these fit indices will help you to improve this modification indices will help you to improve the fit indices. How you will relate? Positive largest value and under one construct So what we got? We got E2 to E1. So we relate E2 to E1, E2 to E1. Again you run the test. I related. Again you run the test. Let us see. I run the test. Again I will go to this modification indices. Where is that? Again I will go to the modification indices. Again I will see which is larger. See, I have already correlated E1 to E2. Now it will not appear here. E1, E2 will not appear here. Look at here. It is not appearing. Now let us see any other larger positive values. Look at here. This is 13 and positive. No, it is also F1 to E13. So it cannot be related. F1 to E13, it cannot be related because one is constructor, another is indicator. It cannot be related. So go to any other positive value. E17 to E21. This is 14 point. Now we need to see whether these E17 and E21 is coming under one construct or not. E17, E21. No, it is not coming under one construct. So it cannot be correlated. Then any other thing? E20, E22. It is also positive. It can be correlated. 4 point something. E21, E22. This is negative. See, E20 to E21, although it is higher value, 6 point, it cannot be correlated because it is negative. But however, E20, E22, it is positive and coming under the last construct. Look at here, coming under the last construct, E20, E22. What is that again? Let me see. E20, E22. Yes, E20, E22. Look at here. This is what E20 and this is what E22. What is E22? No. It cannot be correlated because it is separate. I'm sorry. It cannot be correlated because it is separate. I'm sorry, because E22 is under F2 and E20 is under F5. So it cannot be correlated. Then go which is positive. Please see and say me. Which is positive and higher. E13 to E22. E13 to E22. E13. No, it cannot be correlated. Any other thing? E10 to E16, not possible, I think. Then 9. E9
So what
to
about E4 to E2?
What is that?
E4 to E2? Is it possible?
To E2. E2 to E4,
Last one.
It can be correlated. Yes, it can be correlated. Very good. It can be correlated.
Sir, that is
E2,
negative, sir. That is negative.
Negative.
Yes, sir.
E2
Yes, sir.
to E4.
Minus
No, it is positive.
0. Minus. Okay. Oh, sir. Yeah, I saw 14.
No. It is positive. It can be correlated.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
It can be
Yes,
correlated.
sir. Yes.
E2 to E14. E2 to E4. E2 to E4. It is correlated. Yes. Then the thumb rule is every time you need to estimate. Then go to the Then go to the text output. Go to the modification indices. Then look which can be correlated. The thing you will correlate will not appear again. Now see which can be correlated. Which can be correlated. 10, 16 cannot be. 9, 12. 9, 12. Yes, it is positive. Where is 9? Where is 12? 9, 12. Look at here. 9, 12, 12. Nah. Where is 9? 6. 6. No. This is 12. This is 12. Where is 9? No, it cannot be correlated. It cannot be correlated. Anything correlated can see and say me. 7, 9. It can be correlated. The C 7, 9, 7 and 9. It can be correlated. 7 and 9. It can be correlated. 7 and 9. Oh, because of it is higher, it is coming. Now it is perfectly okay. It can be correlated. So this like figure should appear because it has been convex, it has been not been there. Okay. So then again estimate, again go to the text output. Please see, go to the modification indices. Please see which can be correlated. Please see which can be correlated. Please see all of you which can be correlated. E8, E13 are the 19 minus E9, V12. No, it is
Sir,
different.
E2, E3.
E2, E3. Huh. Yes, E2, E3. Yes, very good. Yes, it can be E2, E3. Yes, very good. E2, E3. E2, E3. E2, E3. It has been correlated now. It has been correlated now. Now, estimate again. Now, for which purpose I wanted to do this, let me show you. Now you will see definitely the value of modification indices might have been improved. Definitely the value of modification indices might have been improved. Look at here. Go to the modification, sorry, fit indices, not modification. Definitely the model fitting indices value might have been improved. Now look at here. See, it was 0.97. Now it become 0.98. Look at here. These all three, IFI, TLI, CFI. Earlier, these were all 0.97 something. That means below 0.98. Now it become 0.98. That's because in our modification, in our fit indices, we got satisfactory value. We didn't do the modification indices. I repeat, as because in our research, we got appropriate fit indices, we didn't do modification indices. Suppose by chance somebody is getting slightly lesser than 0.9. See, if it is 0.85, it is not much helpful. If it is 0.8889, it is helpful. The modification indices is helpful. It will improve your fit indices above 0.98, 0.9. So earlier, if you can realize, these three values are less than 0.98 and 0.97 something. Now it become 0.98. Now it become 0.98. Now it was also below 0.95. Now it become 0.95. It was also below 0.95, 94 something. Now it become 0.95. Look at here. Now the most important thing of the modification indices is to improve the fit indices. Improve the fit indices without doing any manipulation to your sample, which is permitted also. I hope you are clear. I hope you are clear.
Yes, sir. So can we see the matrix?
Which matrix? Which matrix? This.
Indices fitness, sir.
Indices?
After changing, yes, after changing the.
This is the nothing, na? I said, na,
Yes,
just
sir.
now I was explaining. Earlier.
We changed.
Earlier
there was lesser value, now the value is increased. So can we seen in terms of matrix also?
I could not get your point.
No, he is saying that from SPSS scatter plot.
No. I think you didn't understand. If your fit indices are not above 0.9 or RMR, RMSC are above 0.05, which should be less than 0.05, it is slightly deviating fit indices. If it is slightly deviating, then this modification indices will help you to improve the fit indices. Those matrices matter was different. See, those matrices matter are different. Those matrices I was telling for the normality assumption testing, you did the mixture. No, do not worry. You did the mixture.
Okay.
So these matrices I was telling in order to test the normality assumption. But one of your schedule was there modification indices, which I didn't cover. Today I cover that. What is that modification index? Modification indices are required whenever your fit index are not performing well. Little lesser. Fit indices are not performing well. What is that fit index? The fit indices is saying how much your model is perfectly fitting. If your fit indices are lesser, you cannot say your model is perfectly fitting. So in order to improve the fit indices, you take the help of modification indices. By taking the help of modification indices, the fit indices can be improved. Got my point?
Yes,
Got my
sir.
point?
Yes, sir. Definitely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So today is this much from my side. I hope most of you might be getting bored because of the time. But what to do? These are all lengthy and these are all very typical thing. So you should have the patience. So this is from my side. If you have any question, you can ask.
Yes, sir. You wanted to teach us path analysis also, sir.
But that requires data imputation. That require data imputation, but time has been passed 20 minutes already. So I hope all of, but almost all the thing which were assigned to me in your schedule, I have covered. If time permits in any other platform, then I will clarify. Already time has passed 20 minutes. So if whatever I explained, if you have any doubt on that, one or two questions I can take. Otherwise, we can call it a day. Acha, Ekankika is asking something, raising the hand. You can ask Ekankika. Ekankika Tripathi, somebody. You are raising a hand. You can ask. Tell me. Ask me.
No, sir. It was by mistake. The hand is raised.
Okay. If anybody is having any doubt, they can ask. Otherwise, over to the organizer. If anybody is having any doubt, they can ask. Otherwise, it is over to the organizer. Borada sir, are you there? Borada sir, are you there? Borada sir, are you there?
Yes, sir. Maybe some technical issues. Borada sir is not available here. On behalf of Borada sir, I am a co-coordinator of this program. I am Dr. Guru Kumar Bera. Again, good evening, one and all. And it's a nice pleasure to have with us our professor Saroj Kumar Sahu. Last 2 to 3 days nicely interacted with our participants and nicely presented all these things like modification indices to like structural equation model and all these things. And sir, I would like to thanks from ASBM on behalf of ASBM University. So nicely handle these sessions and with interact with our participants and solve all the queries. Those have already attending the classes regularly. Once again, thank you, sir, for patiently and nicely presented all these sessions and all the contents you have clearly covered as much as I contained in our schedule. So once again, thank you, sir. And thank you all the participants who are presently listening from our resource person, Professor Saroj Kumar Sahu, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Sunil, stop the recording. Sunil. Sunil, please stop the recording.